Hello, everybody. It's Arkansas Minuteman 0864 here today. Sorry, I've been out. Things have been kind of rough around here at the house. I've been sick here lately and everything else, and I just haven't been able to get out and get anything done, chores or this. But I think I'm back now, so let's get ready and rock this thing. First, let me put out this disclaimer, and this will be my disclaimer henceforth on every video I put out. Since YouTube has took it upon herself and become stupid again and wanting to violate First Amendment rights on freedom of speech and whatnot, and have decided that they want to start knocking down channels that deal with prepping, Minuteman kind of stuff, or whatever, let me disclaim right now the following facts. That any firearms or firearm accessories that are shown or used during the making of any of my videos are not for sale on my videos, will not be for sale on my videos, nor will any firearm accessory, whether they fall under the restrictions of federal export rules or not, they also will not be for sale or are for sale. So, with that being said, YouTube, take notice that I ain't out here selling nothing and leave us alone. Now, with that said, let's carry on. I have been watching different YouTubers out here for a while making all these talking about civil wars coming, civil war this, civil war that. And I was like, how do they know a civil war is coming? Where's their crystal ball at? How do they know this and all that? But I decided I'd look at it from a different viewpoint, and I've sat down and I've gone back and I've started re-looking at videos and everything, and then I'm turning around and I'm looking at current events at the same time. And I'm here to say that I think I have pretty much changed my mind. I think that they are on to something. I think they are honestly on to the fact that we are about to erupt into a civil war around here. And what really put the cap on the whole situation was last night, watching a segment on Fox News last night. They had the gentleman that is in the Government Oversight Institute, and he got to talking about this Democrat communist Mamdani that's running for mayor in New York, and he brought up some very good points on this. Fact number one, Mamdani's got family in Qatar over there, and it seems that they have proof that they're the ones that helped the big wigs of Al Qaeda escape right after 9/11 and disappear into Afghanistan. Bin Laden, Zimbabwe, and several other higher up lieutenants and the upper echelon of their chain of command. And now, amazingly, he's all of a sudden running for mayor in New York. Well, New York, if anybody in New York's listening to this, y'all better sit up and take notice. If you think New York's bad now, you elect him as mayor of that city and he implements his theories that he wants to put and policies that he wants to put in place. New York City will become a third world shithole and nothing flat. You might as well get used to it, because if you're stupid enough to vote that sorry piece of crap in, then you know what? Here's what I got to say to you. You deserve every damn thing the little son of a bitch does to you. Don't go bitching, don't go crying, don't go complaining. End of story. But it don't stop there. My daughter was just in Qatar less than a month ago, and he was praising jihad and supporting jihad and all of this. And then I got to looking around, and I've actually, in the process, started learning a few things. A fact that I did not know until recently was I did not realize that Dearborn, Michigan is overrun with Muslims up there. That they have got the highest concentration of Muslims in any city in the United States. I did know that the terrorist Muslims were setting up training camps throughout the United States. Now, my question is that why has not the U.S. government shut them down by now? Because, as you all know, if we go out and we go run through the woods and, you know, we start practicing tactics and techniques and procedures, all of a sudden we got the FBI and the ATF and the U.S. Marshal Service and everybody else climbing up our backside, wanting to know what we're doing, why are we doing it, and then they're wanting to dedicate us as a domestic terrorist organization. Mighty strange. We're over here trying to keep skills up that the government taught us to begin with in order to upkeep our oath for those of us that are veterans or retired military and protect all enemies, both foreign and domestic, and protect the U.S. Constitution. Here's what I got to say to you. Get off our ass. We're just doing what we got to do to keep our country and keep our country safe. So, but if you start looking at Mamdani, Mamdani, Mama's boy, whatever you want to call it, there is a lot of questionable stuff in his background that needs to be looked at. And I mean really looked at. Deep down, deep down. And it needs to be investigated. But why is he getting millions and millions of dollars from overseas from news organizations that support Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis and other terrorist organizations? He got several $100,000 or more from his family, the ones that helped the top echelon of Al Qaeda escape into Afghanistan after 9/11. And I was speaking with a friend of mine this morning about it, and he brought up a point. And I'm not going to mention any name because I don't know if he wants to be mentioned on video or not. So I'm going to respect his privacy, but you know who I am. Or you know who you are, rather, when I say this. He brought up the fact that if you go back and you look at everything that Mamdani is saying, you've heard Barack Obama, you know, the illegal president that was not a natural born American citizen, was born in a hut in Kenya, has said the same thing. And he made a remark that he has done overlays on what Obama said and what Mamdani has said. And he said that most overlays come in almost verbatim. A lot of them are verbatim. And that don't surprise me. Obama's always looking another way to get another term in the White House to finish destroying this country, which he started in his first term and continued through his second term. And he just recently continued in his third term with Joe Biden in office. Now, don't get me started on Joe Biden. That's a whole new ball game for a whole new day. But yeah, do I think Civil War is coming? I think right now there is a very good possibility of it. I won't say definitively that I think that it's coming because who knows? Everything's possible. We don't know what tomorrow holds. We just take it one day at a time, or we make the best we can and all that. Now, a lot of what I'm seeing on the news with protests against ICE and fighting with ICE and all that, I'm old enough that I remember seeing the protest over the Vietnam War back in the late 60s and early 70s, and I can remember clearly I was watching the same thing. And everybody then thought, hey, there's a civil war coming. This country's getting ripped apart. Fortunately, it didn't do that. Will it happen this time? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. We're going to have to just sit back, wait and see. But in the meantime, Everybody needs to be doing what they need to do to prepare. They need to get a stockpile of food. They need to figure out how they can stockpile water if they're like on a city water system or a county water system. They need to stockpile fuel to keep generators running for whatever reason. For myself, it'll be that I can, in case my backup generator goes down, my other backup generator will go out there and run the pump to pump water up, and I can get it stored up again. We need to start stockpiling stuff like that. And we also need to be training tactics, procedures, and all that kind of stuff. Because a part of me says that here very soon we're going to need to know that stuff. Because we're going to need it to protect our family, protect our communities, and protect the Constitution and this country. Now, here's what I'm going to get at. Everybody's like, well, it's going to be black on white, or it's going to be black on brown, or it's going to be black and brown on white, or it's going to be white and brown on black, or we're going to be going in and overthrowing the government, and we're going to replace the government because we don't like their policies and what they're doing, and we're just tired of their crap, and blah, 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 blah. All right, here's what I'm going to say on that. I think what you're going to see in this United States is you're going to literally see a religious civil war. It's going to be Christians against Islam, just like it was way back in the Middle Ages. Because suddenly my eyes got opened up, and I have realized that the Muslims are here doing their best to try to take over not only the United States, but the entire world. They want it all. And for you people out there that are watching this and you go, oh, Islam, it's such a peaceful religion. My advice to you is go get a copy of their Quran and you go read it. Then come back and tell me how peaceful it is. Because it's either the infidels have got to pay a tax or the infidels who've got to convert. And if you convert, I can honestly guarantee you that they're not going to trust you because you're a convert. Or the infidels have got to be totally annihilated. And these terrorists and these radical Muslims out here, they're more into terminating anybody that ain't a Muslim. End of story. Hey, if we get rid of them, we ain't got to worry about them. Okay, that works. But they're here to take over. For sure. There ain't no doubt about it. Apparently, they've already took over Dearborn up there. I mean, I just seen it the other day, 6 times a day in Dearborn, the freaking mosque up there is blaring their call to prayer 6 times a day up there, and way above the federal government limit of decibels. And the people that are not Muslim are complaining about it. Okay, then why do you keep voting in a Muslim mayor that tells a Christian that he don't belong in the city and he needs to get out of his city and he ain't welcome in his city? And okay, yeah, I don't think that works too well. Somehow that don't seem like a mayor to me. That sounds more like a dictator. Pretty sure that would be a dictator. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. So the world is definitely a changing place. It is not what it was when I was a child and growing up. I have watched this world. It's flipped. It's flipped a couple of times. And, no matter how much you don't like something in this country of ours, we're still the best country in the world. And like it's been said several times, we're the last island of freedom right here. Once freedom falls in this country, we have nowhere else to go. That's the end of it. So, but yeah, do some research on Mamdani. I think you'll learn a lot on that. And his background is very, very shady. And as my friend that I spoke of just a minute ago, he made a remark that Mamdani is being groomed by Obama's war camp. And I believe it. I honestly believe it. And it ain't just up in New York City. Illinois has got some Muslim woman that's running for Congress. We've already got 3 or 4 of them in Congress now. They're already making enough trouble up there. We don't need no more up there. And I'm going to give you my opinion on that too. And this is probably going to piss some people off. I don't care. I'm calling it the way I see it. Anybody that is a naturalized citizen should not, and I repeat, should not be in any political office at any level, local, county, state, city, federal. I don't care if it's the local dog catcher, right on up to the Oval Office. And here's why I say the Oval Office. You've already had one illegal in there already. Obama. Obama was in there for 8 years. Obama is the source of all of this divisiveness that we have in this country. It's why we're so divided. He started it. Up until Obama, racial tensions was at its lowest point that it had since the Civil Rights Act had been voted into law. He started it. He's still instigating it. But his act, he just put out a warning the last 24 to 48 hours talking about everybody needs to take note of Trump's authoritism and the conservative movement that running this country. We ain't running this country. We're fixing the country. We're fixing it where the Democrats have gone communist and tore it all to pieces. Some people are saying, well, we're too far gone. No, we're not too far gone. If that would have been the case, our forefathers, almost 250 years ago, wouldn't have stood up to the British Army, the world's most powerful army at that time, and whooped their ass. End of story. It's never too late. As long as we're still trying and we're still pushing back and we're still resisting and everything, it's never too late. We need to get out there. We need to research everybody that we vote for. We need to use the voting booth as our main source of weaponry. We need to research their backgrounds, find out as much information as we can on people, and don't just vote somebody in because of their skin color, because, well, we've never had a Muslim mayor before. We need one now. Well, fine. If you want a Muslim mayor, background check them and find out everything you can about them and make sure that they're legit. Don't just vote them in there because of what their religion is, what the color of their skin is, or anything like that. Try to pick the best ones you can that when they say something, they mean what they say and they're going to do what they say. This is the problem with the government nowadays. And people have failed for politicians to go out there and, oh, they just sweet tooth you to death and they kiss you on the cheek and they love on your baby and they just come across as the nicest, sweetest guy or woman on the planet, and you vote them in there and they've made all these promises that I'm here for my constituents. I'm going to work for you. You tell me what to do, and I'll do my best to get it done, blah, 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 blah. And then when they get in there, the lobbyists hit them with money in their back pocket, and then it's to hell with my damn people. I don't care what they want. I want to do what the lobbyists do because they're paying me $100,000 a year. And, oh, in a couple of years, I'll be a multimillionaire. And don't tell me it don't happen because, yes, it does. You look at AOC. AOC is only in her, second term in the House of Representatives, and by the end of her first 2 years, she was already worth about $2 million, and now she's up there between $4 and $6 million in worth. But she sure as hell ain't making that off of $174,000 a year on the pay she's getting. There ain't but one way she's making money like that. She's either taking the information she's getting about trades coming up on the stock market, and she's insider trading and making money that way, which is illegal for you and me, but not illegal for them. Or the lobbyist, actually is not or, is and the lobbyists are filling her back pockets full of cash money so that they get their legislation pushed through that they want to make money. It ain't what me and you want anymore, it's what they want. So, but yeah, New York is about to really screw themselves. Vote Mamdani in there, and yeah, he thinks he's going to go and tax all the rich up there and all the big businesses up there in New York City. Buddy, let me tell you what, the day today announced he has won the election up there, you're going to see big business and rich people in New York City going to be headed for Arkansas, going to be headed for Texas, going to be headed for Florida. They're going to be going anywhere but New York City. They're going to get the hell out of Dodge. And with that being said, let me pass on a word of caution to those people that move out of New York City. You're welcome to come to Arkansas. Texas has already said they're welcome to come to Texas. Florida has said they're welcome to go to Florida. But I'm going to say this on behalf of every conservative red state out there. Whatever state you decide to move to, when you leave New York City, leave your damn Democrat voting ways up there. Don't bring them down here, because we don't want it. We'll put the pressure on you and make you move out of our state and let you go back to one of your Democrat states over there. If you're going to vote the way you voted up there, don't come to a red state. You're not welcome in the store. So, but anyhow, with that being said, everybody needs to do some research. They need to start reading things. You need to start prepping. I mean, if you ain't prepped before, now it's time to start prepping now, because the clock is ticking down, and it's ticking down fast, super fast. So, yeah, remember, you need to get the basics. You need to get food. You need to get fuel. You need to get figure out how to store water up so it don't go bad. You need to read up on that. Modern Minuteman out there, he is promoting a series of books out there on a lot of what preppers need to be doing to get ready for this. Ammo, you need to be buying up ammo, because there's signs out there that the anti-Second Amendment people are still pushing hard to get guns and ammo and stuff banned. That they're ignoring what the Supreme Court said, because California has just now passed a ban. No more Glock pistols can be sold in the state of California. And the Supreme Court just a few months ago had already ruled against one of their laws, saying that it is unconstitutional and an infringement of the Second Amendment to go and pick and choose what weapons they will allow in their cities and towns and whatnot. So right there, they're just blatantly thumbing up their nose at the Supreme Court, what the Supreme Court says. The question I got is, what is the administration going to do about this? They got to be something they can do. Maybe there ain't. But they need to try to figure out if there is. So start prepping. And as Josh over at Modern Frontiersman says, stay with self-reliant, because he's spot on the money with that one. And look at Modern Minuteman over there at the series of books. He's written several of them himself, and need to get that. And I'm going to wind up doing a video on a series of books that I just have watched a video about. I've ordered a bunch of them, about to order a bunch more. You need to get out there and start. If you're not a vet, or you were in one of the branches that was not a combat arms, that did get taught how to patrol, how to do formations, how to set up defensive postures and all that kind of stuff, you need to get with an Army guy or a Marine guy, hats off to them, and say, hey, I want to learn this stuff, and get with them and start working with them so they can teach you the basics in it. And don't throw the stuff out about guerrilla warfare, counterinsurgency techniques, special operation techniques and stuff. Get the books out there, start reading those, start learning those and everything. You can get out there by yourself. You can't run like a wedge formation or whatnot, but you can start walking through it and kind of get an idea of what's what. That way, when you can finally get you a tribe together and you can start working on this thing together and everybody come together. But if you do start getting a tribe, make sure you include some vets in there out of one of the actual combat arms service branch. If you want to learn how to drop bombs from a B-52, go get an Air Force guy. If you want to learn how to pound 16-inch shells off of a battleship onto a shoreline for an amphibious operation, then go find you a Navy guy out there. If you want to learn about Star Wars, I guess you go over there to Space Force and talk to those guys about how to set up a laser or Death Star or whatever. So, but make your training fun. Make it interesting. Don't get out there and lollygag around on it and all that kind of stuff. Take it hard. Something's about to happen. I can't say when, but my gut tells me it ain't too far off in the near future. And start prepping. Start getting your stuff together. Start getting everything right. Because we're all going to hope for the best. Or has it? Hope for the best. Prepare for the worst. We hope that it never comes to this. Really, I wouldn't want to see it to come either. That's the last thing I want to see is a war on my own home turf here. Because then I got my family and friends that I got to worry about. And that's going to take off part of your mental ability to stay focused on what you're doing. But we'll do what we got to do if the time comes, which we hope it don't. And don't think that this video is stating that, oh God, he's out there, he's wanting the war to come. No, that ain't what I'm saying. I don't want to see a war. I've seen too many combat zones. 24 years, I've seen too many combat zones. I don't want to see no more. I know what combat does. I know what the end result is. I've been in those countries. They were already shit to begin with. But after a combat zone went through there, war went through there, they went from being just a third world mud hole to a third world shit hole because everything was leveled. Nobody had nowhere to live. There was unexploded ordnance everywhere. You didn't know where you were walking was safe or not and all that kind of stuff. So no, I bought the place that I got now, and I kind of fell back on what Dick Winter said in one of the episodes of Band of Brothers near the end of it. When he got home, he prayed, right after he landed in D-Day, he prayed to God that if somehow, by some miracle, he made it through the war alive, that he promised when he got home, he would find him a piece of property, settle down on it, and he would live in peace on that property for the rest of his life. He had seen all he wanted to see of it. And I'm the same way. I thoroughly understand what Dick Winters was saying when he said that. And everybody should be like that. Everybody should just want to live completely in peace and be peaceful with their neighbors and all of that. And that's why we all should be. This country has gotten away from being able to agree to disagree and sit down and discuss things openly, calmly, rationally, humanely, and work things out. that's the only way we're going to work all these problems out, is we get back to that and we can talk about everything. So I'm going to end this here. I will say that stay tuned. I'm going to get right. I'm going to start filming and putting together a video for the recce for Operation Lights Out. I'm hoping to get that out maybe by the end of the week, early next week if possible. It's going to depend on how hot Mother Nature gets around here. It's starting to heat back up again. And then after that, I will look at a time schedule when and I can film the actual operation lights out, and I'm going to try to figure out how exactly I'm going to do that. I'm still thinking about it. So stay tuned. There's more coming. I promise you the video is going to start coming a lot quicker, a lot faster than what they have for the last month. But I've been under the weather, and I've had things that's going on around here that I've had to deal with and all of that. So I really hadn't had time, and for that I apologize. And but as always, keep patrolling, pay attention to detail, and stay alive.